In the movie Ant-Man, biophysicist Hank Pym gives Scott Lang a suit that can shrink him down to the size of an ant without changing his mass. But is this really possible? Can something truly shrink in reality without changing its mass? And what are the dangers that could come with such a thing? According to the movies, Scott Lang shrinks himself down by bombarding himself with so-called Pym particles. Although they are fictional, the application makes a lot of sense. Here is why. In the first half of the 19th century, Danish physicist Niels Bohr came to dominate nuclear physics with his model of the atom. Although no longer used, it is still useful in some calculations and is instantly recognizable. Bohr proposed that electrons orbit an atom's nucleus at certain energy levels, or quantized energy states. This means that the orbital radius or Bohr's radius depends on the electron's energy. The potential energy of an orbiting electron is dependent on its mass. This means if you were to increase the mass of an electron, its Bohr's radius would decrease to maintain the energy. But what does this have to do with Ant-Man? If the Bohr's radius decrease, then the electron would come closer into the nuclei. If Pym particles can change the mass of Scott's electrons, the Bohr radius of all the atoms in his body would decrease. Thus, his atoms would have more room to come together, bringing their nuclei closer. This should effectively shrink down his entire body. At least this is a comic book style explanation. Currently, there are experiments going on that are trying to turn electrons into their heavier cousins, muons. Muons are many times more massive than electrons. If we might be able to do something like that, then Ant-Man might just be real. Making an Ant-Man suit is not just all about shrinking. The suit would also need some specifications that would make shrinking survivable. First, if you shrink to the size of an ant without oxygen tanks, you would simply be suffocating yourself. That's because if you shrink down to an area with a certain amount of air, the volume the air occupies drastically increases in relative to you. So without shrinked oxygen tanks supplying you with air, you won't get nearly the mixture you need to stay conscious. Another problem with this shrinking is density. If you shrink a 100-pound human being to the size of an ant but maintain his mass, his density will be nearly equivalent to that of a white dwarf star, or 2 billion kilograms per meter cube. This means he would fall right through the earth. In case you don't know what a white dwarf star is, then we made a video about it. You can go check it out if you wish to. Now you know that shrinking might not only be fiction but might be based with real physics. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Do you have any questions or suggestions? Tell us in the comments. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and click on that notification bell so you will always be updated when we post another video. Thanks for watching and see you in another video.